Daf Yomi, Tractate Zevachim, page 44b, continuing. We already got past the first line or two, so we're starting with close to the top with the words Amru Lo L'Rebbe Meir on 44b. Mem Daled and Bet. Amru Lo L'Rebbe Meir. Follow the baby, Yehoshua מכאן ועד 10 ימים. אמר להן, אף אני לא אמרתי, אלא בבא עם האשם. The rabbi said to Rabbi Meir, but a person may bring his guilt offering today, and the accompanying log of oil from now until 10 days later. Rabbi Meir said to them, I too spoke only about a log of oil that comes with the guilt offering. This indicates that even according to the opinion of Rabbi Meir, it is the blood of the offering that renders the oil pigul. Ela amar Rabbi Yirmiyah le'olam Rabbi Meir usimi mikan nesochim amar Rabbi le'olam eloi tisme beton eloi gabai ma'asho והוא הדין לנסוחים הבוין מזבח והדרתן לנסוחים הבוין בפני עצמון והוא הדין ללא גבה לפני עצמו. Rather, Rabbi Yirmiyah says, actually, the aforementioned Braita is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Meir, and omit the case of the meal offering brought with the libations that accompany animal offerings from the list of items that are not subject to the halacha of pigul. Abaye says, actually, do not omit this item from the list, and the Braita can be explained in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Meir as follows. The Tana first taught the halacha with regard to the log of oil that comes with the leper's guilt offering. And the same is true of libations that come with an animal offering, as according to Rabbi Meir, pigul status applies to both of these. And then the Tana taught that pigul does not apply to libations that come by themselves. And the same is true of a log of oil, excuse me, it comes by itself. The Mishnah teaches with regard to the burnt offering, its blood renders its meat and its skin permitted to be eaten by the priests. The Gemara asks, from where is this matter that the meat of a burnt offering is eaten by the priest derived? The Gemara cites a Braita that Levi teaches with regard to a verse that discusses the gifts that are to be presented to the priests. This shall be yours of the most sacred items from the fire, every offering of theirs, every meal offering of theirs, and every sin offering of theirs, and every guilt offering of theirs, which they shall render to me, shall be most sacred for you and for your sons. Numbers 18, verse 9. Kol korbanam lerabois log shebeshlam nitzoire sal kedai techamina min ha'esh kostav rachmana v'ha'ila b'ota min ha'eshu kamash malam. The Braita clarifies what is included by the term every in each of these clauses. The verse states every offering of theirs, which serves to include the log of oil of a leper, it too is given to the priests. The Gemara explains why it is necessary to derive from the verse that the oil is a gift to the priesthood. It might enter your mind to say that the oil should not be included, as the Merciful One writes in this same verse, from the fire, and this log of oil notwithstanding, its status as an offering is not reserved from the fire. Only an item concerning which part of it is brought to the altar can be said to be reserved from the fire, and none of the oil is brought to the altar. Therefore, the verse teaches us by the phrase, every offering of theirs, that the oil goes to the priests. L'chol minchatam, l'rabot minchat omer, u'minchas akinois. Sal gedei min v'ach meloisam asher kupar bahem, u'minchas oim elazir asya mincha akinois. Avon kasyo kamash malam. The phrase, every meal offering of theirs, serves to include the omer. Enough. These flies are annoying. Hadley. Stop bothering me. Stop bothering me. It's your heart, stop bothering me. Stop bothering me. Here. Us, basically, causing bittul toire. Get away. Where were we? Sol gedei Ramino. V'ach lo yisem asher kubar bahem, min chasoim yavati asya, u'min chalkenoi zevai avay kamash malan. The phrase, every meal offering of theirs, serves to include the Omer meal offering brought as a communal offering on the 16th of Nisan, and the meal offering of jealousy brought by a sotah. The Gemara elaborates, it might enter your mind to say that, as the verse states with regard to the consumption of sacrificial food by the priests, and they shall eat those items with which atonement is achieved, Exodus 29:33. Only those foods that facilitate atonement are given to the priests, and this would exclude the Omer meal offering and the meal offering of jealousy, as the Omer meal offering comes to permit the consumption of the new crop, and the meal offering of jealousy comes to clarify the transgression of the sotah as part of the ordeal undergone by the woman. Therefore, the verse teaches us by the phrase, every meal offering of theirs, that even these meal offerings are eaten by the priest. The phrase, in every sin offering of theirs, serves to include the bird sin offering. Its meat, too, is given to the priests. The Gemara explains, it might enter your mind to say that this meat should not have been eaten at all, should not be eaten at all, as it is an unslaughtered animal carcass. Since the bird is killed by pinching its nape, see Leviticus 5:8, rather than by slaughtering, which is a matter of ritual slaughter of non-sacred birds. Isn't that Sarval Chaim? I don't know why is it that the bird has to be killed that way? Who knows? Therefore, the phrase, and every sin offering of theirs, teaches that the bird sin offering is eaten by the priests. Chol Hashamam, Rabois, Hashem Nazir v'Hashem Etzaire, Slokadai Zechamin Lahakshir Ka'asu, Kamash Malam. The phrase, every guilt offering of theirs, serves to include the guilt offering of a Nazarite who contracted ritual impurity and the guilt offering of a leper. The Gemara elaborates, it might enter your mind to say that these should not be given to the priest to eat, as they come to qualify these individuals rather than to atone. The guilt offering of a Nazarite renders him fit to restart his term of Nazariteship, and the guilt offering of a leper qualifies him to eat sacrificial food, whereas the verse states, and they shall eat those items with which atonement is achieved, Exodus 29:33. Therefore, the verse teaches us by the phrase, every guilt offering of theirs, that these offerings as well these offerings as well. Every guilt offering of theirs that these offerings as well are eaten by the priest. The Gemara challenges. The Gemara challenges. Hold on, where are we? It is explicitly written with regard to the guilt offering of the leper that it is consumed by the priest, for as it's an offering that is the priest, so is the guilt offering. Leviticus 14:13. Why then is this derivation necessary? Rather, the Braita means to say that the phrase "every guilt offering of theirs" serves to include the guilt offering of a Nazirite, teaching that it is like the guilt offering of a leper in that both are eaten by the priest. Asher yashivu ze gezel gel lechayhu shenachai iye afilu lekadesh bo es haisha. The Braita continues with regard to the phrase "which they shall render to me." This is referring to an item stolen from a convert. One who robs a convert, who then dies with no heirs, must give the stolen item and an additional 1/5 to the priests. Finally, the term "for you" teaches that it shall be yours, even to betroth a woman with it, meaning these gifts are considered the priest's property in all regards. Tanya, Rabbi Elazar Omer. According to the first time of the Mishnah, the bulls that are burned and the goats that are burned, the blood of which is presented on the inner altar, are subject to pigul, whereas Rabbi Shimon rules that they are not subject to pigul. It is taught in the Braita that there is a third opinion concerning the matter. Rabbi Elazar says in the name of Rabbi Yossi Aglili, if in his service of the bulls that are burned or the goats that are burned, the priest had an intention that can render the offering pigul with regard to a matter that is performed outside the sanctuary, meaning in the temple courtyard, he has rendered the offering pigul. If his intention was with regard to a matter that is performed inside the sanctuary of the Holy or the Holy of Holies, he has not rendered the offering pigul. Ketzad Haya Omid Bachutz Yamar Hareini Shechet Hazit V'Dam Malvacha LePigul Shemachshava Bachutz Shemachshava Bachutz B'Davar Na'aseh B'Vnim LePigul Haya Omer B'Vnim V'Amar V'Ani Mazeh Al Menas Takdir Limurim וישפוך שיריים למחר לא פיגל שמחשבה בפנים בדבר שנעשה בחוץ. The Braita elaborates how so. If he was standing outside when slaughtering the animal and said, I hereby slaughter the animal with the intention of sprinkling its blood tomorrow inside the sanctuary, he has not rendered the offering pigul. The reason is that in the case of an intention outside with regard to a matter that is performed inside, one has not rendered the offering pigul. Likewise, if he was standing inside when sprinkling and said, I hereby sprinkle the blood of this offering in order to burn its sacrificial portions on the external altar and to pour out its remainder on the base of the altar tomorrow, he has not rendered the offering pigul, as this is an intention inside with regard to a matter that is performed outside. Okay. אבל היום מבחוץ ואמר הרי שואל לשפוך שיריים על מחר או להגתר אימורים למחר פיגל שמחשבה בחוץ בדבר נס בחוץ. But if he was standing outside and said, I hereby slaughter the animal with the intention of pouring out the remainder of his blood tomorrow or burn its sacrificial portions tomorrow, he has rendered the offering pigul, as this is an intention outside with regard to a matter that is performed outside. Amar Yehoshua ben Levi, Ma'ikra, kasher yuram bishor zevach hashlomim, yechima lemadu bishor zevach hashlomim me'ato. Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi says, what is the verse from which this is derived? The verse states, with regard to the sacrificial portions of a bull for an unwitting sin of the anointed priest, which is one of the bulls that are burned, as it is taken off from the bull of the peace offering, Leviticus 4:10. But what then do we learn from the bull of a peace offering? Everything that is specified with regard to a peace offering is stated with regard to this bull as well. Anamakish par kohen mashiach le'shol zevach hashlomim Mashal Zevach Shlamim Ad Shiyu Ma'asav U'Machshevotav Al Mizbach HaChitzon Af Par Kohen Mashiach Ad Shiyu Machshevotav U'Ma'asav Al Mizbach HaChitzon. Rather, the verse juxtaposes the bull for an unwitting sin of the anointed priest with the bull of the peace offering, just as the bull of the peace offering is not rendered pigul unless the priest's actions and intentions relate to the service performed on the external altar, as that is where it is offered. So too, the bull of an unwitting sin of the anointed priest is not rendered pigul unless the priest's intentions and actions relate to the service performed on the external altar. Amar Rav Nachman, Amar Rav Bar Avu, Amar Rav Halacha Kavilazo Shom Mishul Yossi. Rav Nachman says that Rav Bar Avu says that Rav says the halacha is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Azar, who says his ruling in the name of Rabbi Yossi. Amar Rava said,